Hey, it's Kylego 31 with Rita and Scott. Are-
Hello.
Hello. So we're going 6 minutes, just a shorter one. We feel like we need a shorter one.
Yeah. Actually, let's go five.
Five? All
Yeah.
right.
You
I
go
will.
first. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm in a Kylego about tennis. Let's do that. Um, it is 5 years in the future, and I am 54 years old, and I've been playing tennis really um, ever since I caught kind of wind of this new change in my life, and I've learned about so many things through my tennis match and through my tennis practice, and playing more doubles and learning my role in doubles and learning my role about what my strengths are and how my strengths can feed into my doubles partner's strength, and so how it really helps in relationships. So as people probably know, I'm very much I can be very bold and very blunt sometimes and very irreverent. And so that kind of transfers into my tennis game. I am the guy who is 6'2" and who stands at the net. And I've learned over the years that the guy who's 6'2", who stands at the net is really annoying because he will every little weakness he is going to try and smash the ball right back at you. And so people will avoid as much as they can that man at the net. Look out for the man at the net. Return the serve to the server. Do not do anything that's going to strike that guy at the net. Just avoid him. Let him be irrelevant. He's not even playing your game. So, and this is kind of a metaphor for life that I've learned too. Is that you can be as formidable as you want to at the net, but sometimes people are going to avoid you. But through that avoiding, there's such an opportunity for your partner, for whomever you are with, to start refining their game. And I learned that early on. And this has been kind of a brilliant double scheme that we have, and that your partner, whoever they are, I had this one woman who was very short, and we played mixed doubles. She was very short, and she wasn't that strong, but whatever she hit as hard as she could would always land in the court because that's who she was. And oftentimes, if I tried to do that with as much strength, I would just knock it out of the court. Well, we learned that as many times as me being at the net and her getting fed balls, she was getting fed balls twice as many times as I was, and she was practicing her things twice as many times as I was. And so we started winning because she started playing better, because she was getting so much fed to her because people didn't want to feed to me. And that, for me, that felt like that was my greatest opportunity, that I could let my partner win and make winners and make points. And I didn't have to fight being formidable for us to win. I could stay in my own spot, to stay that way, to be who I was, the 6'2" guy who would smash things in the court, to keep people honest, because without that, she couldn't improve. And then all of a sudden we were, I had, the pressure was off me. In match point, they were never going to hit to me. But then she could actually get those winners for a match point and a win. And then that would be the ultimate gift for her, to have that elation of oh my gosh, I hit the winning point. And that's part of where I've realized that if you're more of the irreverent, bigger person who shows up big, it's okay. But realize that you're doing that, and that if people do avoid you for a little bit, they're going to start showing up for other people, and that's their other person's opportunity to shine. And you're giving that opportunity to someone with your not even knowing about it, by just being yourself. I could have played differently and said, oh, I'm just going to, for my partner's sake, I'm going to pull back. Well, that exposes a weakness as well. I'm not playing who I authentically want to play. And then all of a sudden your partner is confused, and how are the roles going on? So, in relating this to my life in this past 5 years since I started Kylegoing with Rita, it's I find that it's really great for me to sort of stand in my place and to be this kind of me that's a little more outspoken at times. It's a strength, and it's something also that it's a strength that it can actually let folks if they're not aligned with it, they can actually try and make me irrelevant too, and then they can go with someone else, and then somehow it just all works out. So I still play at the net. I still love playing at the net. I still love doing the volleys, even if I miss and I hit horribly into the net, and then they think it's just good for them. So they've knocked down a giant. So
good.
Fun. I wanted to do some tennis metaphors. That's a lesson I've been learning.
I like it. Okay, I'm going to supercharge that.
Right.
Yeah, so Scott, really got comfortable and empowered and really started to see how this very natural way of being, almost the way you were designed, is to be this almost like this entry point, one of the words that we use is a support for others. And you were really, playing tennis just really solidified it for you. And it was funny because I had started to feel that, but I wanted you to come to it yourself, because I had this feeling of, well, how do I tell a man that he's here to support? And it just didn't, it just sounded a little weird. And plus, not everybody wants to be the support for others. But you actually found that your soul is absolutely happy in that role to help others find their strengths, and that is your strength. And you started feeling so empowered and energized, knowing that that's like your superpower, that you are the space where other people get to practice and learn exactly what they're capable of. And that's an incredible gift for anybody who wants to engage it. I certainly feel grateful to be smart enough to be aware of that, and even encourage it. And it almost looks like I'm doing it for my own purposes, because it always comes around with you. It always comes around to benefit the people that you're working with. And well, okay, sign me up. So that's just it's been awesome to watch you really get comfortable and know where the line is between being overly giving, overly nurturing, overly responsible for other people's growth or learning, and to just be that guy that's there so that other people can act in the space that you create. It's about creating a space, and that's just become a really valuable thing that you have learned how to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely see that in you.
Yeah, it just hit me the one time on the court. It's like, okay, I'm really a support for her, like being this formidable guy that nobody wants to hit to.
Mm-hmm.
I just embraced it and said, this is the best way to support my partner, by continuing to be that, so that they can get better.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something in it for you too.
We win more.
Right, exactly.
I'm kidding.
Well, in tennis, that's right. That is the thing that's in it for you.
And it's a game. It's just a game.
Right.
So we can win on the court, and we can.
That's the purpose of a game, is to win. And to have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah. And to have fun, and to, it's just like life. The ball will you either hit the ball back or you won't.
Right.
Or it goes in the net, or you know, you hope it comes back to you. And yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
Fun.
Yeah. All right. Here I go. Okay, so back in the summer of 2018, wow, it was woof. It was another. It was a. It broke. It no. It didn't break anything. Um, I willingly opened up to everything that was presenting itself to be shown. I quit needing to be broken open. I went willingly. And so many things just started showing themselves. And since then, I've been, the circles have been showing themselves to be like almost like the opening sequence of a person's life review. And that is both scary and exciting to people. So, and it really got clear in that summer, for a variety of reasons. I mean, Vivian Luxem likes to say, God is so crazy that fill in the blank. And that's what happened that summer. God was so crazy that he showed me everything I needed to know or feel or just be connected to in order to be this conduit of allowing people to have their life review while they're still in their physical body. And oh my God, that's the most incredible thing to offer the world, that we get to start working on the things that we need to look at before we pass, instead of waiting for when you can't turn away anymore. Let's just step up and look right now. And that has been so, what a gift to be witness to people allowing that to happen. And the knowledge that is imparted through other people seeing themselves honestly, and I mean, it's just it's a benefit to me as well, because every time I offer a circle that gives someone else a life review, I get a little piece of what I need to look at for releasing from my soul. So it's just been optimal health for me, because I'm releasing everything that needs to go. I'm owning what I've done, what I've thought, what I've said, and feeling all the way through it, and feeling the presence of God loving me anyway. And that's what it comes down to for everybody who has their soul circle life review. They get to feel that no matter what's in that opening sequence, God loves them anyway. And that's, I mean, what more is there to say after that? That has changed so much for me, and I keep getting responses as to how other people's lives have just, they were going down one path, had their soul circle, and that just that first life review and took a whole different turn. So it's not, it doesn't always feel like, oh, my life got so much better. It's like, I did the right thing. I I that was not the way I needed to be going, and now I can feel my soul talking to me more. So every time there's a fork, I can check in to where my soul would really prefer going, and where God would really prefer that I, mm, which would be the more loving path. Yeah.
Great. All right. How much time do I have?
3.
3. All right. So a number of years ago, in the summer of 2018, Rita was going through I would say it's like it was a really strong learning journey about all sorts of life review, life, death, um, grief journeys, and it was something that just was shown to her that was a really major gift. And at the time, of course, she had to showing up fully was difficult at times, and of course, she had to feel all of her feelings. And but this reflected too also in the circles that she made, where it's almost as if this just had to be revealed to her so that she could actually reveal it to others as well through their soul circles and this life review process that came to her. And it was another thing that was added to her art and to the circles and to the healing that they brought. And people started likening their circles to the beginning of a symphony of their life and also the review of the symphony of their life. I know for me, starting at that time, I began paying attention more to my circle of really all those aspects of focus. Mine is very focal and spectrumy, and just reminded me to keep my focus through the center, and so people start realizing these things in their circle even later on, and in the circle for my dog that she made, in 2018, and then seeing how that progressed and how, this is an opportunity for review. It's an opportunity for a reflection of yourself. It's the opportunity to see something projected as the symphony of your life through someone else's eyes, through a portal, through a stargate, through something that you can keep for yourself that's a signpost. And people started recognizing these are signposts, and by having these life reviews sooner than the ultimate times where they were under stress or they were stressing out family or the end of life situation that happens for so many of us, and it will happen for every one of us, we could start saying, I am open, rather than be willing to say, okay, I'm ready to be cracked wide open. It's just like we can quit that. We can say, I'm shedding that because I'm already open. You don't have to crack me open because here I am. Let me open my soul so that I don't have to be broken open. And maybe for some you still have to break things open, but the soul circles were a way for folks to actually see that symphony unfolding rather than having to have this burden of being broken open to have a life review. And it was the mathematical journey that was to that highest good faster than a chaotic breaking open.
I love that. The symphony.
And what is a symphony but color and light frequencies and waves and sound, which can be measured by hertz, just like color and just like art.
Right.
Mandalas have a frequency, colors have a frequency, sound has a frequency. Mm-hmm. So we have our eyes that recognize a frequency of light. So
all of those are languages, and maybe all of those together is a language.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.